think the admiration was really one-sided, because I think Jim had this. I think Jim, as a novelist, really did have this kind of like writer intellectual high ground over a lowly screenwriter like my dad. So that was a real interesting dynamic. I brought a letter that I wanted to read.
Yes.
That Jim Salter wrote.
So Jim Salter, we all, I'm sure, know who he is. James Salter, the fabulous novelist, too. We grew up with in Aspen. And he couldn't be here tonight. But he was Poppy's best friend. And Jim wrote a letter to read tonight about Lorenzo.
The first place we ever went out to dinner when we got to Aspen was at the Salters' house. I remember it clearly. They had a mule in their yard, and we rode mini bikes around before dinner. Here's the letter. I never met anyone who knew him or had only heard stories about him, and there were countless of those who wasn't avid for news about him. People loved Lorenzo. It was amazing. He had this marvelous gift. He could just fascinate you. Part of it was that he knew everything, from the best way to handle a story conference to who carried his father out of burning Troy. The other part is that he was extremely funny. He could make you laugh while keeping a nearly straight face. He resisted laughing himself, and I don't remember having heard him tell a joke. He was not that kind of funny. His wit was made to order and brilliant, but he could be savage when the occasion or stupid people demanded it. And he used to say that he could cast fear into a dinner party just by entering the room. He had an inner dignity and was never without a kind of poise. His style was out of an English upper class that is above giving a damn, and he was privately proud of his name in the New York Blue Book of 1936, Master Lorenzo Semple III, address, Brooks School. He was an incredibly generous man and generous in heart. He was outspoken. He was outrageous. I was with him when he ended his skiing career. He'd never liked the bumps anyway. I was a little ahead and stopped to wait for him. He never appeared. What happened was that he decided he'd had enough and had simply gone into the trees, hidden his skis, and walked down. He never skied again. You could count him in to misplace or misuse anything, and also to own the latest, anything and best. His friendship was probably the most valuable thing I ever owned. People always seemed to be good to me because of it. I had an unlimited account. I still have it. He was a glorious man. And Jim Salter is definitely a national literary treasure. And Poppy ended up in one of his books, Life is Meals, where he ate an entire bowl of rice pudding that was made for 6 people. So I think my dad may have been a forerunner of the man versus food trend.